So in Paul Lockhart's book, Arithmetic, which I highly recommend reading, he mentions that when humans first thought about the idea of adding with different things to show the adding, they would have used a bunch of rocks. So one bunch of rocks for one number, another bunch of rocks for another number, and literally just push them together. So in mathematics, this pushing together rocks is called aggregation. It's an addition structure, and the other one is called augmentation. So to an existing number, putting on another number. So let's look at a few examples of adding. Here's a few different types of number, and we can start off with looking at adding with whole numbers first. So I'll give an example. So this orange counter represents 1. So something like this would be 1 and 3. So what does it mean to add? Push them together. So 1 and 3 push together, and we recognize that thing, this new set of objects, as 4. This red counter is -1. So we can push 1 with negative. If there's 3 red counters, I can call that -3. And again, what does it mean to add 1 with -3? It means to push them together. 1 and -3 push together. Now something new happens because of the way negative numbers are defined. So the way they are defined is that 1 added with -1 makes 0. It's called a 0 pair, or additive inverse, 1 and -1. If you haven't done that yet, not to worry at all. It's just to explain that actually when you do push these numbers together, something new happens. And in this case, 1 and -1 make a 0 pair and disappear, leaving a -2. You can add algebraic expressions together. So here are algebra tiles based on the area model. And these are all representations of number. So I can have an X tile, and then I can have a train. I like to call it a train of 2x. So again, I'm going to push these together, and x with 2x I recognize as 3x. So in algebra we sometimes call this as adding like terms. Okay, can I push x and y squared together? Yeah, of course I can. Although nothing new is formed. So while I can push x and y squared together and make a sum, it'll still be called x plus y squared. And that's it, really. That's the essence of addition. And as you learn about various different things in maths, like adding terms, adding negative numbers, positive numbers, surds, etc., you'll understand how they interact and how new things might be made out of them interacting when you're pushing them together. But really the essence of addition is those two structures I mentioned, pushing rocks together, aggregation, or adding on to an existing number, augmentation.